I have a new tour date to announce. Springdale, Utah on July 6th at the O.C. Tanner Amphitheater. The pre-sale begins Wednesday, March 8th at 10 a.m. local time with code RATKING. And the general on sale begins Friday, March 10th at 10 a.m. local time. We've added a fourth show in Las Vegas, Nevada on July 1st at the Encore Theater. I will also be in Hollywood, Florida on April 7th at Hard Rock Live. That's the day before the Miami UFC fights. We will be in Uncasville, Connecticut, July 21st, Bethlehem, PA, July 22nd, and Atlantic City, New Jersey on July 23rd. All tickets are available at theovon.com/TOUR. Today's guest is an award-winning singer and songwriter. He's written for some of the greats like Morgan Wallen and Blake Shelton. He has a new solo album, The Mockingbird and the Crow, which he's out touring with right now. I've gotten to know him over the past few years, and there is no one just more down to earth and enjoyable to be around than this man. Today's guest is Hardy.
Shine that light on me. I'll sit and tell you my stories. Shine on me, and I will find a song I will sing it. I'm on stage.
This house is dope, dude. I live, like, I could walk here. I would be tired, but I could walk here.
Could you really?
Yeah, I mean, I would be tired. It would take me 20
Are we rolling?
minutes, but
All right. So it would take you. It would take you how long to walk here?
I mean, maybe 30 minutes. But it's like 2 miles. It's like a mile and a half.
But that's not walking somewhere. That's at that point you're hitchhiking.
Yeah, kind of. I could bum a ride here.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I could bum a ride here. I feel like that feels like a better statement.
Yeah, but I don't know why people don't use that. Like, because technically, you know how they're like, you could walk there, and like technically, you could pretty much walk walk anywhere.
Yeah.
Until you had to swim or whatever, but
yeah, you could walk almost like it's crazy. It's crazy to think of the old days when people were like, "I'll head over," and you got there like 4 hours.
Oh
later.
yeah. Anything could happen between then. Like, you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Like, you'd have to call somebody on a payphone and be like, I'll see you on Saturday. And before payphones, it was like by letter. It was like, I'll be there next month. And then they never showed up and they just like got killed by a bear or something.
Or people like a parent showed up and they're like, "Where's our daughter?" And the guy's like,
She fucking died or something.
She went to get some water and I haven't seen her. He's lying. He took her life.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn.
That's like some Game of Thrones shit, dude.
Oh, that's heartbreaking, man.
Yeah, we live in a more convenient time than ever.
Yeah,
it's pretty wild.
It's so things are almost too convenient now.
It is, dude. Somebody needs to do a study on this, but I think that, like, do you remember, like, in the 90s, 80s, whenever, but that when you heard a song on the radio that you loved, and the next time you got to hear that song was on the radio.
Yeah.
So, and it was so euphoric to hear that song again because you didn't have access to it. Where now it's like, if you like one song, you can go listen to every single thing that artist or whatever has ever done.
Yeah.
And back then you had the luxury of having that euphoric moment of like,
it was
having
magic.
that to yourself, and then having to like record it on the
cassette tape.
Yeah.
Well, it almost felt magical too. Like if it came on at a certain moment, it was like that was like the gods telling you this is it,
Yeah.
Like, I was driving by and this played and there she was.
Yeah. And you had no control over it. It just had to happen to you.
Yeah. Now you can sit outside of somebody's house for like 7 hours and play the same song over and over again. Mm-hmm. Until the cops show up and take you somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's like you couldn't. Yeah, before you couldn't.
Yeah,
you couldn't build up that dirty momentum like you can now.
Yeah.
Dang, dude, that is so crazy. But then think of how much power the DJ had back then.
Yeah,
because he's like, you know what? Right now, I feel things out there kind of slipping out of our grasp. I'm gonna put you guys on something, and he put out a love tune.
Yeah. Or like "We Are the World." You know what I mean? Like, He controlled the narrative of people's lives back in the day. It's pretty crazy.
DJ was powerful, wasn't he? It was almost like the DJ had a dance. It was like that, but for the whole city or a nation. It was like when that song came on, it was like, this is what everybody's going to feel. If somebody right now is like, if two spouses are fighting or whatever, the casserole ain't good, I'm about to hit them with this love ballad and everything's going to change.
Yeah, and that's the only way that they could hear it. They couldn't do it themselves unless they had a
violin or something.
Yeah.
Or a capability. Yeah. You know, you had to have a real capability.
Yeah, something like that.
Hardy, good to see you, man.
Dude, happy to be here, man.
I know.
I'm stoked.
Yeah, thank you so much for your time, man.
Thanks
you guys are.
I know you were had to or pushed your flight or leaving tomorrow. Now I really appreciate you making the time, dude.
I am. I'm glad to make it, man. I'm so happy for your career, dude.
Thank you. It's been awesome. Past couple of years has been incredible,
bro. I didn't know you were such a. It's almost like going to a fitness sim. It is like going to a dang
show.
Yes.
Yeah,
when
dude.
you go see Hardy, if you haven't gone to see Hardy, then you need to go see him. You're going to be touring with Morgan and doing what do you have
right now? I have my first like real Live Nation like headliner tour, the Mockingbird and the Crow tour, and we're like a quarter of the way through it now. It's only like 20 shows, so like 5 weekends. But yeah, this summer I'm doing the I guess it's called One Night at a Time tour with Morgan. I should know. I should be more confident with that, but I think that's what it's called. With Morgan, Ernest, and Bailey Zimmerman, and then Parker McCollum is going to there's some shows that I can't do because I had other shows booked. So he's filling my spot when I'm gone or whatever.
Nice.
And that's, dude, like 2 nights at the biggest venues in the world is like the craziest thing to me. It just.
Like, what do you mean when you're saying that? You're like,
well, just Morgan. Like, I've known him for so long now, and like he's always just been Morgan, and it's so hard to process that one of my friends is quite literally one of the biggest artists on the planet. Like, college football stadiums are the biggest. Like, that's
he's
like
the white
7
usher.
of the top
he's the white
10.
usher.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, maybe even white Michael Jackson. Well,
yeah. He's like,
I don't know.
He's the Michael half.
He's a country Michael Jackson. Yeah. Exactly, dude.
But no, he's like Elvis Presley.
Kinda, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. I came up with him and like, I like toured with him. Like, he brought me on my first tour as an opener, and we were doing like rooms of like 800 maybe to 2,000, and just to know that he's doing
which is
technically
still
like
big.
80,000 people and shit is fucking unbelievable. So proud of him, man.
Yeah. I've only known you guys for maybe a couple years, and I got to go to some of his shows last tour.
Yeah.
But it was amazing. I mean, when Morgan goes on, you've heard, I never realized that I could sing for 2 hours straight. Like, everybody, every single word.
And everybody in the whole place is singing it too, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Pretty unreal.
But watching you, man, it is like a fit. It's like, I'm like, dang, if that guy's wearing his Fitbit.
Bro, I just said that in an interview like an hour ago.
That dude he gonna step out. He's gonna beat his year and a half.
Somehow I get fat when I go on tour, dude. I have no idea how, dude.
Bro, because it's just incredible, man. It's such a show, bro. It's so powerful.
Yeah, I don't know. I just have I feel like I grew up like watching rock shows, and then like FGL had me out a lot like early, and I got to watch their show and how active they were, and like, I don't know. I just feel like I learned from that, and that's just kind of the only way I know how to, translate all that into mine or whatever.
Yeah, it just feels like it fits you. It feels like oh, you're just getting who Hardy is. That's what I'm feeling like. Oh wow,
yeah,
this is who this guy is. This is real exciting.
Yeah, man, it matches the music too, especially with like we're doing the rock stuff now, and so it's the music itself is really high energy. So I feel like I'm just having to keep up with the songs, and
oh dang,
portray all that at the same time, I guess.
Are there ones where you got to take a couple breaths before you start the?
Bro, yeah. There are some songs that I am like suffocating, dude. And I'll just like hold the mic out and be like, you guys, come on. But really, I'm like just fucking dying, dude. Just trying to catch my breath.
And half your fans are probably smokers too. Like, no, you, you do it.
No, you. And I'm like, no, fucking seriously, dude. Yeah, there's times for sure, man. It's like the first right now our set, the first 6 songs is like a ball buster, dude, and it's awesome. But there's like no break, and the first 5 songs especially are like all the biggest, like the heaviest like rock songs and the biggest singing and screaming songs. So there's like no break. It's crazy.
That's fire.
I'm exhausted, but it's fun.
Yeah, the new album, so Mockingbird and the Crow, it's like it reminds me some of Kid Rock in a way. It reminds me of Kid Rock and then obviously country music.
Yeah.
You know, so it's that's and people say you look like Kid Rock too. Dude, do you remember we were somewhere when you met Kid Rock? Weren't we in the same place?
Yeah, we were. Dude, it was Miranda Lambert opened her bar.
Yes.
Oh man, Casa Rosa or something like that.
Yeah, like a Spanish bar or something.
Yeah, in downtown. And she had a big star-studded thing.
There
upstairs.
We go. Yeah, and people had always told you guys look like each other. Well, damn.
Yeah, dude, I get it. I'm seeing more memes and stuff now. But dude,
are you?
Like that night when we met, like he already knew about it apparently. So like he made a joke. He like was like my long lost brother, which kind of that because I was a huge fan of Kid Rock back in the day, like massive, and still am, and I know him now, which is crazy, but I love him, and so he was in on the joke, and like the first thing he did is like took my hat off and put his hat and was like, let's take a picture, you know, twins or whatever. It was cool.
Yeah,
but yeah, that was that night. I forgot about that. That was really cool.
Yeah, I think I might have taken one of those pictures. I'll have to look through my pictures and see. Yeah, so where does some of that come from for you? So, because some guys don't have that, both sides of that thing. They're in one world kind of, but you don't, you really walk, you have a foot in both.
Yeah.
In both boots, man.
Man, I tell everybody, like I grew up in a small town and, you know, country, you know, I grew up 8,000 people and probably real similar to Covington, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Similar, just small ass town. And so, like growing up, that's everything lifestyle wise I absorbed. So that's where all the country comes from and the lyrics and all that stuff. That's how I grew up. But like, I did not listen to country music at all.
Who listened to music in your house that you
Everybody.
heard?
My music, other than like God, you know, like music was number 2 behind, you know, religion in my house. Like there was always music playing. My sister was a really good singer. My dad didn't play or sing, but he was like obsessed with rock and roll, and my mom played piano. So, I mean, music was, you know, it was huge in my house. So I had no choice but to be obsessed with it growing up.
Do you remember like the first song you ever heard?
Yeah.
Really?
I have a vivid memory, dude. It was Alive by Pearl Jam.
Oh,
dude, I know where we were in Philadelphia, Mississippi.
Yeah.
We were in my dad's truck, and he had a cassette, and he said, listen to this. This is a band called Pearl Jam. And he put the cassette in, and that riff from Alive started playing. It was like something out of a movie, dude. My brain chemistry just changed, and I was like, what the fuck is this? And I was like 4, but I remember it's one of my first, dude, amazing. God. It changed my life forever.
Did you, and was it just you and your dad?
In that moment?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. And he saw it like then, like he was like, okay, this, you know, thank God, like my son loves rock and roll or whatever. And so from then until I could like drive, basically every time we got in the truck, it was something new. Aerosmith or ZZ Top, you know, but it was never country. He liked a little bit of like Merle Haggard and like, I guess if you call John Prine country, like, but he knew he never played. It was always rock and roll. So I owe all of and then I found, you know, then I got into like, my like prime setting, like teen, you know, angst or music influence years was like Linkin Park and like Puddle of Mud and all that new metal, Limp Bizkit and all that shit. So I've kind of discovered that on my own, but I owe all of my childhood like music taste or whatever to my dad. It was all classic rock. Yeah.
There's something interesting, because Lainey Wilson was just on here.
Yeah, listen to it.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, dude. She like, I mean, yeah, she's magical. And you guys have that great song together, man. Wait in the truck.
Yeah.
And but I was thinking like, and I was talking on there about the first time that I heard a song. I was with my babysitter, and I wonder sometimes if there's like something about just you and your dad together. Like sometimes it takes like a certain like I don't know what I'm thinking exactly. Like because I remember it was that I was alone with. I'd never been in a car with somebody that wasn't like. Probably all my brothers and sisters at the same time, or all of us. I was like, my babysitter was taking me somewhere, so it was me and her.
Right.
It was just like this moment, and then she put in a cassette, and so my senses were already real alert.
Yeah. That's interesting. I never really thought about it like that.
But I'm sure you and your dad had probably gone different places together, but that's cool that he put that in. Dude, imagine if there's like a dad and he puts like a good song on for the kid and the kid doesn't give a shit, dude.
Dude, coming from a music family, like it would have broken my dad's heart if I would have just looked and said like, I don't like this. Can you just turn it? Can we sit in silence? A 4-year-old just asking if he could turn it off. This hurts my ears or something, dude.
Bro, that'd be so crazy.
He would have died. He would have hated that.
Or the dad even puts on something that's kind of like just not even that great, and the kid's like, "This is trash."
Yeah, but the dad like loves like his favorite song, and he's just the kid's like, "This fucking sucks." That would have been horrible, dude. I hope that does not happen to me, dude. That would break my heart if I have a kid one day. And
I know that would have to be such a heartbreaker, dude. I think about that a lot. Like, imagine if your kid isn't smart and you have to like wish him good luck on a test or something when he leaves for school, and you know, like the luck nothing's gonna help him.
I feel like parents probably go through that though. You know what I mean? Like your kid sucks at fucking volleyball, soccer, I don't know, but you go out, you just have, like your kid likes it for whatever reason, and you just have to go watch him like fail until they lose interest in it. Oh,
that's crazy though. If you have a kid who like, he loves like just not even being good at it kind of, but he still wants to go. Because usually kids want to stop going if they're not good, you know?
But I guess when you're like a young kid, I don't know, I don't know what would go on in a kid's mind, but like T-ball, you know, like if they're horrible, like, is the kid old enough to be like, I'm not very good? I don't feel like a kid would say, I'm not very good at this, I don't want to do it anymore. Maybe at like 7 or 8, but when they're real little, maybe not. And then you have to have that talk, like, you know, like if especially parents that grew up like, you know, middle class or whatever you want to call it, and like they're spending money, you know, on this thing, and they're, you know, the kid's terrible. Like, does the parent sit them down and say like, look, maybe you should find something you're gonna actually be better at, so we're not spending our money on this wasteful shit. I don't know.
Yeah, that's wild. I think that's kind of. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what I played. I think I played. Oh, our team was.
Did you play baseball?
Oh, dude, I was bad. I was unreal. I couldn't even believe I was so bad
at baseball.
Dude, yeah, and the field we played on was like slanted, right? We had a bad.
Was it slanted down? So would a home run be easier to hit though? Like, because you know in golf, like if it's downhill, it's technically shorter.
Oh no, that would have been great. Ours was just slanted over
to the side
to right field. So every like kind of if you hit it to third, it ended up like out in center field. So it was.
What was the name of your park?
Oh, we played out at Cordell Furniture and American Legion.
Okay, American Legion. Yeah, that's
everybody usually played at American Legion. Yeah, something like that.
Ours was Northside Park, but I'm pretty sure the American Legion was like right behind the park.
Yeah,
it's like that comes as a package deal. It's like the National Guard, the fire station, and the American Legion, right?
Yeah, especially like in a smaller community. That stuff is awesome, man.
Yeah.
What was Philadelphia like? You're from Philadelphia, Mississippi. What was that kind of like?
Man, I loved it, dude.
It sounds like a perfect size. 8,000 is like kind of a great size.
It is the most cliche, in a way, the most cliche in the best way, like small town, dude. Like when you hear like a cliche ass country song about the courthouse square and the whole deal, it is the definition of a small town. But dude, I hear I meet a lot of people that are like, talk about where they're from, and they're like, I'm glad I got out of that shithole. And like, I had never felt that way. I absolutely loved my hometown. Yeah. It was really cool. And there was obviously, like drama and everything. There was just as much bad as the good, but I was just very thankful for my time there, and I still love to go. We had the coolest thing about my hometown is we have a county fair, and this is worth a Google, called the Neshoba, Neshoba, Neshoba County Fair.
Okay, Neshoba County Fair. So y'all's county was Neshoba County, Mississippi.
Yeah, Neshoba. I think it means like it's like a Choctaw. Tribe, huh? It's Choctaw, yeah, and I think it means like wolf or something like that. I'm not sure. I could be wrong, or I could be completely wrong about that. But dude, so this fair is everything else about it is just like a county fair. You have horse races, the whole thing, but you have like 800 of these cabins, and they're all family owned, and you move out there for an entire week, and it's the heat of the summer. It's hot as fuck, and you being from Louisiana in the end of July, dude, it's brutal. And you live out there, and they air conditioning, like AC units and all that kind of stuff, or window units and stuff. But dude, it's the most fun. It's the most unique thing ever, because the town literally shuts down, and everybody in the little Quadra County area just goes to the fair, and you people take off work, and you stay out there and just kind of party and hang out for a week, and it's amazing.
And the houses and stuff, they're around a lake, or they're around around the fairgrounds.
Picture it like a giant like cookie cutter neighborhood somewhere.
Okay.
There's like 10 rows here, and then you kind of go over and there's a little section here with a long row, and then back over here. But the like cornerstone of it is around, there's cabins that wrap around the racetrack, and that's like the cool picturesque. But there's 800 of them, and it's like 200 years old or something crazy like that. They're family owned, dude. They get broken up in divorces and wills. Dude, if somebody sells one, you can sell them for like $500,000. It's a really cool little piece of like Americana South that's like kind of still undiscovered. I can't believe like Barstool Sports or somebody hasn't gone out and like kind of blown it up yet, but it's a really cool little gem of the South.
Wow, can you zoom in on one of those, please, Ben? I've never even heard of this. The Neshoba County Fair.
Yeah, man.
Have you played it yet?
I did. I got to play it. I was supposed to play it 2020. First year got canceled since the Civil War. Not since the Civil War, World War II. Since the Depression, I believe. And but so it got canceled. So I played it in 2021, and it's like top three like bucket list places that and I got to play it, and it was incredible.
Wow.
It was really, really cool.
And do people come in from around to see it, or is more just the locals kind of go?
Well, the locals like have the cabins, right?
Okay,
and
got
then
it.
like you'll have a crew like from Jackson that's had a cabin for forever, or maybe from Louisiana, or like we know a family from Texas that somehow has a cabin. They come every year, but like a lot of people from around the state will come for like a night, like the first weekend and the last weekend. It starts on a Friday, ends on a Friday, And like, so people from all over will take off work and like crash with a friend or go and come or whatever. But for the most part, the people that live around there are the ones that have the cabins.
Wow. And you guys can't see it. I mean, if you see it on YouTube, maybe you can see some of these pictures, but it's beautiful. I mean, yeah, they have all these homes are beautifully colored and.
Yeah. It's like a Bourbon Street kind of vibe, honestly. And then it mixed with like college football. Like a lot of cabins are like Ole Miss or Mississippi State, Southern Miss, like decorated kind of thing. Ours is a big Mississippi State cabin.
Gang, baby.
Yeah.
Wow, that's nice, man.
Really cool.
This episode is brought to you by BetterHelp, and we are grateful for them. If you struggled, if you do struggle, if you don't feel like you're yourself, if you feel like you're just not fitting into the world or into your life the way that you want to, you may need someone to talk to, and that's okay. Sometimes we need someone else to help us get to know ourselves. And BetterHelp can do that. Therapy is all about deepening your self-awareness and understanding, because sometimes we don't know what we want or why we react the way we do until we talk through things. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist who can take you on that journey of self-discovery from wherever you are. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist. And I love this, you can switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. And I encourage you to do that if you're seeing a therapist. You don't know if it's the right fit. You don't feel like you're getting somewhere. Switch until you find the right one. Discover your potential with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/THEO today to get 10% off your first month. Hey, fellas, it's all about confidence. You know it. Confidence, knowing you'll be ready to go when your partner is ready to go. And confidence, you'll be able to get a few extra rounds when you need them. Confidence is what you get with chewables from Blue Chew. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in chewable form at a fraction of the cost. That's right. You want to get ready, boy. You want to be readied up. You want to have that rooster ready for mama. And now they have Vardenafil mint flavored chewables with the active ingredient in Levitra and Staxin. So you can stay hard and fresh. You want that fresh wean, baby. Get it. Blue Chew's licensed medical providers work with you to find the right ingredient and strength for your prescription. I like Blue Chew. I snack on them. Don't like swallowing pills? No problem here. Blue Chew's sildenafil and tadalafil tablets are chewable. That's right. And guys, here's a special deal for you. Try Blue Chew free when you use our promo code Theo at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. That's bluechew.com, promo code Theo to receive your first month free. And what'd your folks do in town, like for a living?
My dad was a chicken farmer, and my mom was a food service manager for Philadelphia High School. I went to Neshoba Central, the county school, but my mom was the food service manager, so she like was the lunch lady's boss and like planned meals and did, you know, like she had all
big
this job.
spatula, yeah.
But my dad was a chicken farmer.
Was he really?
Yeah.
Wow. So did y'all have extra chickens at the house as pets and stuff?
Hell no, dude.
No way. He didn't bring anything home?
This was like Tyson chicken, dude. Like,
oh, he was working out there at one of the
100-yard long houses with 27,500 chickens in a house.
And they're violent, aren't they, those animals?
Yeah, like game roosters are. These chickens were like, I don't know, politically correct. They were not
special ed, kind of a little more. It's fine.
Kind of. Yeah.
I was in special ed.
Yeah, they were that kind of deal. Like they're challenge chickens.
Yeah, I mean, look, let's be honest what they're giving people. Look, if you getting a McNugget, you ain't getting the best chicken.
No,
bro.
you're not. And these things, man,
you ain't getting a Harvard bird, homie. You ain't getting a fucking Yale chicken.
Exactly. You're not getting the ones that are like on pictures on websites and shit.
Yeah,
they have
you
those
ain't
things.
getting
These were like different. But they would start like this big, and in 7 weeks they'd be a 7-pound chicken. They were pumping them things full of I don't even know what, dude.
And were they sending them like a little gym? What are they doing? Then they don't move, huh?
No, they're just packed in a house that the floor is literally chicken shit.
Oh man!
And it's crazy. It's the way it is, man. And there's a feed line, and there's tons of like it's just a long feed line, and it has a little reservoir, and they eat, and there's water. And my dad had this thing called a cake machine, and it literally it was designed for chicken houses. That you would go in after they catch all the chickens because the shit would be so compacted after they, the people and all the chickens had been in there, and it would break up the chicken shit and lay it back out like dry and like soft for the next chickens. Cake machine.
Wow.
Yeah.
And is that a real machine that they have?
Yeah. I mean,
it breaks up chicken shit and then what lays it back out?
Yeah, like scoops
like almost
it up.
tilling the soil?
Yeah. It's kind of like that, but it like goes into this. It's like a big machine, and you would scoop it up, and it would go through the machine somehow. And I think it would like dry it, and it turns it into powder again and lays it back down. And then every time they would catch, you'd have to go back through there. It's like mowing grass, but like scooping up chicken shit.
Yeah. Wow. We had a turkey farmer on.
Really?
Yeah, and it was real interesting just learning about how quick they get them ready for Thanksgiving.
Really?
And how they like change the lights in there and stuff to make them think that it's day and night and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. I think maybe my dad did some of that too.
It's kind of like that Saw, like Saw the movie,
Big Saw vibes, dude, for sure. Like if reincarnation is a thing, that's one of the last things, if not the last thing I'd want to come back. It would be one of those chickens, dude.
It's crazy.
It's a really shitty life, man.
God. Yeah, we're doing better than them.
Yeah, we definitely are.
What I'm trying to think. There's a bunch of stuff that I want to talk to you about. What was I looking at earlier that I was thinking about? Whenever you start getting into tunes, like what is the first instruments that you get? Like who gets you keyed into music? Like obviously your stuff your dad was listening to, you liked it.
Yeah.
Your mom's playing music around the house.
Yes.
Right. So you're hearing a lot of good tunes. When do you start to really get like an ear? Like, oh, this is something that I'm kind of good at.
I got a guitar when I was little. Like my parents got me like a little Fender Squier, like $100 guitar and a little guitar amp when I was like probably 5th or 6th grade. And I picked it up. I learned like the bar chord, like the easiest shit, like Smoke on the Water and crap. Like, you know what I mean? Like Sweet Home Alabama and just all the shit that everybody learns.
Stairway to Heaven.
No, not even, bro. I couldn't. That was like expert level compared to the shit I was learning.
Oh,
yeah.
damn.
But yeah, and I picked that up, and then like I went into my teen years and I kind of put it back down, and then I picked it up again when I was like 16 or 17, and that's when I like started to really, I like figured out like songwriting and like all that kind of stuff, and like actually learning a little bit more about the guitar and getting a little bit better and stuff was like later in high school.
And did you feel more like a performer, or did you feel like a writer? Like when you think about what you felt like that drew you to something, like sometimes with comedy, like I don't know if I think of myself as a writer. I think of myself as a performer.
Right. It's
I
like
think
your
of myself
delivery
as
is
me.
right.
And like a performer.
Sure.
Did you have one or did you have a?
Man, it was writing for me, dude. It was writing for me until 5 years ago. Like I moved to town to be a songwriter. And my goal was to write hits for people, and then so that I always had that in me. Like in my favorite class in school, I liked biology because I loved animals and like being outside and all that kind of stuff. But I was not a very good student, but I excelled randomly in writing, and I always had a really good knack for it, whether it was like essay, like short stories, whatever you had to write in school. And I just had a knack for it, and I was obsessed with it. Like knowing that I had the ability to create a story or make something up or say something in writing was always like really important to me for whatever reason. And now I know why. Like that was just that was the gift that God gave me, I guess, was my interest in writing or whatever. And but so it was always writing. And then the record, like the artist thing, people say doing the artist thing, that came around the time like Morgan's Up Down was a hit, like because that was my first number one as a writer, and it was his first number one as an artist. And he was at Big Loud, and I was writing other songs for other people at Big Loud, and that's when they kind of came to me and they were just like, do you want to do the artist thing?
Wow.
Yeah. And that was 2018.
Damn, so that's not that long ago.
No, it feels like a time has flown by, but it also feels like forever ago. But like, I was super apprehensive about it. Like,
most of that was COVID.
Yeah.
A lot of it.
Yeah. I mean, when my shit finally kind of started going is when 2020 happened. But I saw like what Morgan was going through, and it's not a bad thing. It's great. But like if your shit like pops off, like your life changes. You understand that? I mean, like your life changes forever. And I just didn't know, like I had an offer on the table and I sat with it for months because I didn't know if I wanted to do it. I'd had some success as a writer, and I was like, man, you get to go write a fucking song and then go play golf every day or something. And I just got done reading The Alchemist, and that book, it talks about opportunities and omens and stuff like that a lot. And so I had that in my head because it kept kind of getting brought up of like, like, are you going to sign this record deal and blah, blah, blah. And then I finally just said, I'm going to do it because I didn't want to regret it later, having turned it down or whatever.
I think it's awesome that you did choose that. I mean, like Mississippi has a lot of great writers.
Yeah.
I mean, over time, some of the greatest writers are from Mississippi. And Eudora Welty, I think she's from Mississippi, right?
Yeah, I think so. Dude, and then you've got Elvis.
Oh, yeah.
You got Robert Johnson, who arguably created rock and roll with the blues.
Does his son play music too?
I think so. I should know that, but I don't.
But yeah, and it's nice to see Mrs. kind of like, because people a lot of times, especially in the South, they put an artist onto a state, Yeah. It's good to see Louisiana getting a guy. It's good to see Mississippi, have a musician, that people can get behind, and a guy that has his own point of view and stuff like that. I think it's because also a place needs that.
Sure.
There needs to be a young man in Mississippi right now who loves your music, and then he's going to learn. He might not even realize right now you're from Mississippi. He might just, and then in 5 years he realize, no way I could do that.
Yeah.
So because that's how things happen.
Absolutely, man. Are you familiar with Marty Stewart? He's a big bluegrass guy.
Pull him up, please.
He had a couple of hits in just a regular country format in the 90s, but he's a really famous roots like bluegrass guy, and there he is. He is from Philadelphia, Mississippi. And so when I was a kid, he was the shit. And so exactly what you're saying, like I always had that in my mind of like, well, somebody from Philly went and did it, and he really made it. I mean, he's very, very respected in the country. He's really big in the Opry and like all that, and
I've certainly heard his name before.
So it was inspiring, man. That was like, I knew it was like exactly what you said. Like it can be done, and that gave me the courage to move up here and give it a shot.
Well, there's a part of your brain that you don't even know that's working. That it's like, okay, that's in my head that's possible.
Yeah.
And until that little coin gets put in your bank,
Yeah.
your brain doesn't really have that as part of its account.
Yeah. You're not like hyper focused on that. It's just your subconscious.
No, it's just, your subconscious. Like,
Totally.
oh, this can happen. And your subconscious, that, it just starts to be part of your assets, in the background. You're like, oh, then eventually it can happen. My favorite comedian, one of the reasons I believe that I got into comedy and storytelling myself, my best friend Scott, he's his dad is from Jackson. His family's from Jackson.
Mississippi?
Yeah.
Cool.
And I would go up there and he would play Jerry Clower for me.
Oh, come on, dude. Speaking my language, dude.
Bro, he would play Jerry Clower.
Knock him out, John, dude.
Knock him out, John.
Come
and he'd be
on.
like from Yazoo City, Mississippi.
That's it.
And I was like, oh my God, like this guy, like it's amazing what he's doing, and like that this is a possible thing. And I think hearing that to this day has had a big effect on the fact that that I got into storytelling and that I like it, or that I believed maybe that I could do it.
Do you think, like, was he kind of the first guy that really based his comedy around Southern ideals and stuff?
I think he was he sounded very Southern.
Right.
But I think he was probably just a good storyteller, and he had a lot of that, like the Ledbetters, like
Right.
he named people in his neighborhood
Yeah.
and characters. So when you were listening to him, he had this world was being
Right.
built.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I think that was fascinating to me.
Well, I was
then,
curious because you talk a lot about people from your hometown and stuff.
Oh,
If
yeah.
that was an influence or whatever.
Yeah, no, I think it probably had a lot to do with it.
That's awesome.
But it was funny because my best friend's dad, he said, yeah, you got to listen to this guy. You'll love him. And he put him on, and I couldn't believe it was a thing,
Yeah.
And then,
Man, that's awesome, dude. I haven't really heard Jerry Clower in a long time. That I remember my childhood then playing him too. Everybody knew his bits, right?
oh yeah.
It was really cool.
Yeah. And there's video you see him perform, and he always wore this kind of like loud red outfit.
Right. He was a big dude too,
Big
right?
dude, yeah. And he had a cocaine problem for a while, and he ended up being a pastor, I think, towards the end of his years.
I didn't know that.
His wife still lives in Mississippi, but
He passed not like that long ago, right? 10, 15 years ago,
Yeah.
something like that.
yeah, I'm not sure when. He passed, I would say 10. Yeah, it sounded like about 10 or 15 years ago.
Yeah.
But one day I was getting out of my car at the mall, and this guy comes running up and he goes, "Hey man, I've heard you say that my grandfather is your favorite comedian," and it was his grandson,
Here?
Jonathan Clower. Yeah,
Here.
Here,
No
yeah.
way, dude. Did he look like him?
it was pretty cool.
Was he a big dude?
I mean, he was young, so it's hard to be like, I didn't want to fucking,
Dude, that's really
Put
cool.
mate-
Though.
you know,
He lives
put
in
like a-
Nashville.
put him in old clothes and see how he looked.
He didn't have like the old, like puffed up
Yeah,
fucking
it
hair.
would've
and all
been- it would have been crazy if he just had old ass hair.
that. He was born like that.
So how'd you get over to? So at that point, so you're starting to write. You're in school. How do you get over to Mississippi State? That's where you went, right?
No, I
Oh, you
didn't,
didn't
dude. I
go.
moved to Nat. Dude, this is my biggest. And I understand, like, if I didn't move up here when I did, like, my life would be completely different. But that's like my biggest life regret is that both my parents went to state. We were a Mississippi State family, but I moved to Nashville when I was 19. I went to one semester at a junior college called East Central Community College in Decatur, Mississippi. But no, I didn't go to state. I actually went to Middle Tennessee down here in Murfreesboro.
And you got your degree from there eventually?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Commercial songwriting.
Dang, really?
Yeah.
So you just went and took a class on it?
Yeah, I mean, it's like a poor man's Belmont. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like all the kids, the kids that didn't get into Belmont, which is like, the big music. I mean, it literally sits at the end of Music Row down here. But yeah, I mean, and the songwriting class was like whatever. And I've said this before, and I feel kind of uncomfortable because I know there's people watching it probably that go to MTSU but like when I was there, it was like there was no filter, so it was like a bunch of people that just weren't very good, and so like it was like, okay, today we're going to learn about writing a verse, and there's got to be structure, and each line has to rhyme. It's just stuff that like most people knew, but there were a couple kids in there that like got it. You know what I mean? Like you had to play a song you wrote every week, and they'd critique it and talk about it and this and that
That's
and the
huge.
other. Yeah, and there was some people in there were horrible, but there were some kids in there that were really good. But you could tell like that was what I took away was like the people that had it, but you can't like learn it. Like you can't, in my opinion. Like I don't know if you could like say, man, I owe all of my songwriting success to the songwriting class at MTSU, because it's like songwriters, it's like any other form of writing. It's like everybody has that weird internal voice, and that's how they write and stuff. And I feel like people are just born with that.
Yeah, I think you can hone things.
Yeah.
And you can like
there's
fine
basic
tune
stuff.
them. You can whittle them.
Right.
You know, you could put a little bit of, you know, you could put something in a crust. You know, you could put icing on something.
Yeah.
But you got to have something.
You got to have the natural kind of thing, I think. But I learned a lot about the industry there, like record deals and publishing. I mean, I learned a ton about all that stuff, and like even recording and studio stuff. Like I got all of that stuff from MTSU.
Yeah, and then the first time you hear those things in business, it's not the first time you've ever heard them, you know? So
No.
It's interesting how, like some people know, I took a comedy class, right? So I went I was out in Los Angeles, you know, and everybody was just, you know, it was, when you first get out there, it's a lot of like kind of people, like they'll have agents and managers will sign you, but just because they're damn pedophiles or something, you know, it's like they'll try to get you out to dinner and then they give you a ride home and they're squeezing on your leg or something, you know, asking if you got any leftovers on you or something. You're like, what are you, you know, what are you
just some slimy shit.
Yeah, what are you even talking about? You know, I don't have any leftovers, but it's like, yeah, it's just a lot of pervs out there. But eventually I found, you know, I said no to all that, and then I got into a comedy class, and the best thing about it was I thought I was probably in my head, I thought I was better than the class, maybe in a weird way, or I didn't, but it made you, at the end of the class, you had to get on stage. After 6, you know, and then I realized as the class went on, some people were better joke writers and they were better like to keeping their stuff. I just came in with a little bit of an attitude, I think, but at the end you got on stage. So
how long was it? How long did you have to go for?
It was 6 weeks, and it was probably.
But the actual performance.
3 minutes.
Okay, damn. So they didn't give you. You had to give it everything you got then. Oh,
yeah, dude. And it was like, and the first week, they're like, at the end, we're going to do a 3-minute performance. You're like, I got that. And then like the day of, I mean, you're losing it.
Yeah.
You know, people are just damn, you know, just losing it, jumping off of really small buildings, not hurting themselves, but just just practicing in case they can't handle it.
Exactly.
But but then we got on stage, and that was the thing. That was the breaker. It was like for you guys having to have a song at the end of the week. It's like, that's the thing where it's like, okay, because if I don't get on stage then, I don't know if I ever get on stage.
Yeah, it's like,
really.
Can you do it?
Right.
Can you actually do it?
Right.
Yeah.
And once you get that first, can you do it? Once you get that first, like, open mic, or I'm going to write a song and play it in front of other people.
Right.
Once you get through that first time, everything changes.
Yeah.
Because then you have a real clear idea on if you're capable of it or what part of it you're capable of the most.
Yeah. And that's all contingent on your audience too, right? In a way, because you don't know if you killed it or if you did a good job unless somebody tells you, people that you know you can trust.
That's a good point. But I think you get a feeling as to, okay, maybe I loved writing it. Maybe I didn't love being up there. Maybe, I mean, you just get more information.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy that how little information you have before that first step, almost with anything.
Yeah. That's really true, man.
You know?
Yeah, that's very true.
Especially for getting on any type of stage. It's like, you just don't, you know, yes,
you're
it's going to be
thrown to the wolves in that moment.
Right.
Yeah.
But right after that, you're like, all right, you know?
Yeah, and then you get into like immediately, I feel that like you can immediately be like, your brain starts ticking on like what you could have done better and like how to make it better. But you don't know that until you do it.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy, the difference between I didn't do it yet to I just did it.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll come off be like, and suddenly you'll be like, next time I'm going to do it this way. And you're like, what am I saying? Next time, that means I want to do it again.
Yeah.
It's like just the little information that you get from taking that first step.
Dude, and that's such a cool snowball effect too, because it gets better and better, and like you're constantly critiquing yourself and telling yourself next time, which is manifesting that it's gonna get bigger and better and all that.
Yes, true.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
That is, man.
When you write a song, like, so you guys write, you and Lainey wrote Wait in the Truck.
No, so she did not write it.
Okay.
Yes.
So you write the song with other writers?
Right.
Okay.
Yep. Just, it's like going to work and you just, go in a room and throw out your ideas and sit around and write a song. Now,
say you walk in a room, right, and you see the other writers in there. Is there sometimes you're like, all right, I'm going to put a certain ideas, and sometimes I'm keeping some in?
Totally.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, dude, like if you have a like ballin' ass badass idea, Like I'll sit on that until I know I'm in a room, because if you throw it out, especially in Nashville, like LA, it can be a little greasier where like people will take back ideas, but you just don't do that really in Nashville. And like it's not as dog eat dog. Let's just put it that way as it is in LA. But like I'll wait until I'm with some of my buddies or people that will completely grasp a cool idea, so you know you're going to nail it. Because I've made the mistake of throwing out a really good title with some people that just couldn't latch onto it as well as maybe other people could, and you just kind of ruin the idea. And then you can't really write it again, or you're an asshole.
Right,
At
because
least
then
the
other
exact
people are
same
attached
idea.
to it and that
Right.
sort of thing.
And then you get then that's when like you'll, you know, then if you did write it 10 years later, then you got to add these people because they were there when, you know, and they're like, well, I said that line and you used that in this song too. But yeah, there's definitely times. Like Wait in the Truck's a perfect example. So Hunter Phelps is like one of my best friends. And I wrote that with him and Jordan Schmidt, who's also one of my best friends. You know, I'm pointing that way because Jordan lives right down the road.
Okay.
And Hunter and I kind of came up with that idea together, and we knew Jordan was a really incredible writer, and that was the time to bring that idea out and write it with somebody. Definitely.
That's wild, man.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, it's interesting because I guess in the beginning you might go in and just put all your eggs out there, and the other two people, one of them shows up hungover, one of them, you know, is not could be.
They just found out they're pregnant.
Right,
So the
just-
day
yeah.
is fucking ruined.
Yeah, their day is wrecked.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you're like, damn, man, you just don't get it to fruition.
Yeah. And it breaks my heart when I have a great idea and you kind of ruin it. Because then you're just like, fuck. Like that, I mean, really, if to get into the technical or the, not to be vain or not vain, but materialistic, but you're like, I just missed out on like $200,000 because I had a hit idea and I just ruined it on these people. Damn. It happens, dude. And you just kind of beat yourself up about it and like this and that. Some people even go home and completely rewrite the idea and make it better and be like, send it back to the people you wrote it with. And you're like, I like this. You guys can be on the song, but I completely rewrote the song or whatever.
Does that happen sometimes where somebody will write it, two other people were in the room and they get a part of the credit and that's that?
Yeah, the rule in Nashville is drop a word or say a word, take a third. You know, like it doesn't matter if you're having a bad day. And that there's like, it always evens itself out because like you go into a room with two other people and one of the guys sits over there and doesn't say a word.
Oh,
He's still on the song. He still has a third of the song.
Like freaking Boo Wordley over there.
Yeah,
or
right.
Boo Radley.
Yeah, like sitting over there like fucking
Yeah, just
just not saying a damn word, just staring at his phone
yeah.
or something. But then there's times where you might not be on your A game and somebody else, two of the other guys or girls are killing it. And
Yeah.
you know, it's just like a Nashville rule. I know in LA, like they have lawyers, they have people like sitting in on rights, like paying attention to who said what. And then they like get in and they try to like negotiate who contributed the most. And that's like the percentage they get. That hasn't made it here yet. I hope it doesn't, man. This sounds stressful.
it ruins everything. LA will ruin anything.
Are you still out there? Do you still live out there at all?
Yeah, I probably spent about almost 4 months maybe.
All right.
Out of the year out there because I have to practice out there. I can't really practice comedy in Nashville.
Yeah. So Zany's, is that the only spot here?
Yeah.
That's kind of surprising. I mean, it's good for them, I guess, because they have like it's like that until you're bigger than that, right? And then you do like the Ryman or something, right?
Yeah. So we could do other places. Yeah, it's like, but if I want to practice, like in LA, I can do 3 spots a night.
Is that like Comedy Store and stuff like
improv,
that?
Improv, Comedy Store.
Yeah.
There's a place called the Bourbon Room that's really popping. West Side Comedy. You could do 5 in a night if you wanted to, but at a certain point, you're just driving around like perform. You're not really learning anything,
You just like show up and see the guy that runs the thing and you're like, y'all got a spot for me, or do you schedule it in advance?
No, on Mondays, usually put in your avails. So some places you could stop in and they'll let you get up if you have a certain level of, I guess, success
notoriety or whatever.
Notoriety probably is a better term. But I don't know. That always feels uncomfortable to me. Like I always
feel like
hate
you're crashing a party.
Yeah, a little bit. And it feels like it's not your, somebody else drove up there.
Yeah.
They might have a couple children. They might be expecting to get home. I don't want to wreck that guy's.
Yeah.
Or, I don't want to have him get home 30 minutes later.
Yeah. That's
That's
nice. That's like just out of respect, right? It's like showing up to somebody's show and then somebody pointing you out and then you get up there and play for an hour and steal the show or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Like if you want to do one, but yeah, I think, so that kind of thing is a little bit uncomfortable kind of, so I like to know in advance when I'm gonna have to go to work.
Yeah.
Because now it is more like going to work. Is it interesting? Does that start to feel like that for you? Like in the beginning that it was a lot more of like, this is fun, and it's still fun.
Yeah.
But once it becomes your work, it becomes your work.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, man, I would almost argue and say that the more into it I get, like the more the years have gone by, the more fun it feels and the less. Because if you just start out, man, and you're like, you got a brand new single, you're doing like radio tour, and I mean, you're grinding so hard, and you're playing shitty shows for people that you're either opening for somebody and the crowd is not there for you, so they have no fucking idea who you are.
Oh.
So, but then the more you're established, I feel like, I mean, it still feels like work. It's just a crazy job, but I think it's more fun the more like, success you have, which I guess that makes, that's obvious, but
no, it's not obvious really. I don't think. I think it's interesting because it's like, yeah, I don't know if, I guess there's different ways to look at it or different ways that it kind of happened in the way you perceived it.
Yeah.
Because I think some people would say that it was more fun in those other moments.
Yeah.
And I guess in some ways it is more, it's like you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, that's true. Well, that's true. Like there's so much left to wonder, like what's going to come of that, you mean?
Right, or what the other side of the coin can look like a little bit. So I guess maybe fun isn't the overall word that we're kind of looking at. It's like it's all fun, but some of it's
more thrilling in a way, or
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm just trying to figure it out, and today's one of those days where I'm not figuring it out that good.
Yeah.
But that's okay, man.
Yeah, I feel you.
But yeah, it's definitely, there's things that are more, well, there's more intrigue, I feel like, but I don't know, because then you get different opportunities. You're like, oh God, this is what this feels like. It's like,
yeah, I think it kind of comes in like, not waves, but even levels, right? Like
that's a good word.
Because then you have like a big record, and then you're kind of like new to a newer scene of more of a higher level, and then there's more wonder and all that, and then like you blow up again or have another big moment, and I don't know, I feel like it could be kind of tiered, but it's all relative. It's all the same situation, but just at different levels of success, maybe.
I think that's a good way to say it. I remember going to you guys' show at in Nashville.
Bridgestone.
At Bridgestone.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing the arrows on the flutter taped on the floor where the artists go up, and like, because it's dark back there.
Yeah,
they keep everything really dark. And I remember thinking, oh man, how cool, I've always wanted to be like, see what the rock star sees,
like
and
the backstage and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it was just like, and I have my own backstage at shows, and it's different, it's just with comedy, it's a lot different. It's really subdued. It's just you're sitting back there.
Yeah, and I was gonna say there's probably not. It's not all hustle and bustle because there's not. It's like the production's not like a country, like a concert.
Oh, there's nobody to damn bum a vape off of you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You have to.
It's like you and do you have a tour manager?
Yeah, you got a tour manager,
and
a couple other comedians. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
like, wild. It's like quiet and more chill.
It's dead quiet.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, and it's so it's totally different to be back there, and you guys' environment is like people walking around.
Oh yeah, especially like you called it like a Nashville show. It's like fucking chaos back there. It's just, but in the best way. Like it's just exciting, and there's people everywhere, and like other country stars and shit walking around. And,
yeah, it was cool. Yeah. That's when Ronnie Dunn came out and played.
Yes, that's right.
God, I didn't realize he could sing.
Oh, dude, he's a legend.
I knew he could sing, but I just didn't know it was like that.
Yeah. Dude, a lot of people say that he's like the most or one of the most iconic voices in country.
He's a damn wind instrument, dude. He's damn, my God.
It's fucking man flute.
You want to hang him outside on your grandmother's porch out there,
just let the wind blow through him.
Just let the damn birds eat off of him.
Could you imagine, dude, a fucking Ronnie Dunn wind chime, dude? Yeah. Just every time it was, ooh, like every time.
That's actually a great idea.
That'd be fucking awesome.
If we could make it so that when the wind went through it sounded just like him.
Yeah. And then have 3 notes in harmony, like wind chimes do. Yeah. That's a $1 million idea.
Great idea, Ronnie. I'm trying to keep it. I'm trying to stay wigged up, baby. Keep that hair going and keep it tight. That's what Keeps helps me do. That's right. Keeps offers a simple, affordable, and stress-free way to keep your hair. They do it via expert recommended hair loss treatments. Personalized treatment plans that are recommended by a licensed medical provider and delivered straight to your door. That's the thing, man. It's your own hair. It's your own it's just that beauty wig just knocking at your door like a damn coonskin cat, baby. Come on. They have 24/7 care and support, and they're low cost. The treatment plans are affordable, typically half the cost of pharmacy prices. Remember, prevention is key with hair loss, and treatments can take 4 to 6 months to see results, so you want to act fast. If you're ready to take action and prevent hair loss, go to keeps.com/Theo to receive your first month of treatment for free. That's keeps.com/Theo to get your first month free. keeps.com/Theo. Be smart, don't start. Kick the habit. Put it out before it puts you out. All phrases that we've heard 100 times, yet we continue to have bad habits. Our new sponsor, Fume, is on a mission to accelerate humanity's breakup from the bad habits that consume far too many of us. Fume is a natural diffusive device that uses plants and behavioral science to help you trade out your negative habit for a positive one. Fume is not a vape. It's a non-electric device designed to transform your negative habits. Instead of pods filled with potentially harmful chemicals like a vape, Fume uses cores infused with plants like peppermint and cinnamon for delicious natural flavors. I gotta say, Fume is nice. It's nice to go to something when you need something. When you have that moment where you're like, I need something, it's nice to go to something that's not gonna hurt you. The easiest way to stop a bad habit is to switch to a positive one. Head to tryfume, tryfum.com, and use code Theo to save 10% off when you get the Journey Pack today. The Journey Pack comes with 3 unique flavors and the new version 2 Fume to help kickstart your positive habits. That's tryfum and use code Theo to save an additional 10% off on your order today. Yeah, that was fun, man. And who did I was there with? Oh, your parents were there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. My mom is actually, they're having some work done. They live here at the house. And so I was walking out the door. She was like, where you going? And I told her I was coming over here. And she was like, oh, I love him. Because I forgot y'all had met there. Y'all met, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to meet your folks there. And who else? Yeah, Baker Mayfield was there.
Yeah, he was there. And yeah, that was so random, dude.
It was random.
Jason Worth, I think it's Jason Worth, baseball player. There was a bunch of athletes there. It was a bizarre group of people, man.
It was an interesting group. That was fun though. Ernest was on.
Yep.
Yeah, that was great, man.
There was 3 nights. One of them,
I came the first night.
Thursday night. See, to me, I thought Thursday and Friday were the best. It was Thursday night, St. Patty's, or was that Friday? I can't remember. One of them was St. Patty's Day, and I just remember how drunk the whole crowd was. It was like I could see it from all the way at the top. Just people were falling over and stuff.
Oh, that might have been sad. I don't think when I left, I remember seeing people doing St. Patty's stuff.
It might have been.
Might have been Saturday.
Yeah.
Is there a night that you guys like to? Is there a night when you feel like the shows are better, or a day? Is there a show that? Give me that day and time.
Okay.
That a country show or that a musical performance is the best.
Friday nights, usually in the summer. Because Thursday night, a lot of people have to go to work. Mm-hmm. So they're there and they'll stay up late, but they're not gonna party. And then Saturday night, a lot of people have to go to church, especially in a country crowd. Mm-hmm. Friday night is I just got off of work and I don't have shit to do tomorrow. That's the one every time. Even if you do, you can feel it, especially if you do 3 nights at one venue, you can see the difference between Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. It's pretty crazy. And the Saturday crowd's more tired and hungover, you know what I mean? They're all good, but Friday night, nothing ever beats Friday night. It's the best.
Damn.
Yeah.
Because for comedy, it's different. Friday night is the toughest night.
Really? Why do you think so?
I think it's because people have been working. They get off, and I don't think they want to be kind of still in a space where they have to sit and kind of listen.
Pay attention.
Yes. I think their attention is a little burnout. They either want to fucking rip their dick off, or not. They're somebody's or something.
Yeah.
They want to rip a tit off or whatever and get a damn Michelob in them, or they want to chill out.
Yeah.
But I don't think they want that middle ground.
Well, I wonder why that's
But
different.
it's notoriously the word Steve Martin quit performing touring
on Friday nights.
because totally. I think, but because if you go out and you're just waiting Thursday to Saturday, I think it's just kind of a low. But he said he quit performing because Friday night.
Really? Yeah. It's that big of a difference. Mm-hmm. I wonder why. I mean, I guess I don't know. It's crazy because I guess you don't have to pay attention at a concert. This is super artsy for. I guess you feel music more than like you actually pay attention to it. So maybe that's a little bit more of a release than feeling like having to sit and focus on something. Maybe I don't know.
I don't know. It's interesting.
That is interesting. That's
sometimes it stands up. I think in the end it gets in your head that Friday's gonna be, might not be. But then I don't know. Half the time I feel like I can't really tell the difference. So,
dude, if you take Louisiana out of the equation, what's your favorite city to play in?
Oh dang, dude! Anywhere in Texas is good.
Really?
Texas is fucking good, dude. But then Portland. Some of my biggest crowds are like Portland, Australia.
Oh, dude, I'm going in like a month. I've never been.
Oh, bro.
I'm so excited.
It's like, they started it. It was all criminals, dude.
Yeah. They sent them down there. That's right. From like the UK area, right?
So it's awesome. Yeah.
Dude, you know that our Georgia, was the same thing?
Really?
Was like Australia for Americans. And they would send, and you can fact check me, but because I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was a place where if you went bankrupt or committed a crime, they would send you down to Georgia, because Georgia is one of the 13 colonies. It's one of the original, if not, it's like it was very early, and they would send it down there to like restart down there.
From jail to Georgia. Let's see that. Hey, I think you had it there, bub. Zoom in on that if you don't mind, please. 18th century Georgia was really just King George's penal colony, right? Can you zoom in a little bit more? As conceived by its founder, James Oglethorpe, and his trustees in London, Georgia was expressly built on the theory of work release. And they convinced King George the overcrowding in prisons. It's fair to say that scores of recently released people of the King's House of Corrections were among the colonists. Huh.
There you go.
Damn.
Isn't that crazy?
Well, dude, hold on, man. This might go for the whole SEC because Louisiana, they said it was like criminals and prostitutes from France. So they're like,
really? They settled like in New Orleans?
No, in France, they're like, if you want to marry a prostitute, we'll give you
shit
land in Louisiana. I just tweeted something about it. Or no, I just saw something the other day. The original colony of Georgia, for example, was founded by James Oglethorpe, who originally intended to use prisoners taken largely from debtors' prisons, creating a debtors' colony where the prisoners could learn trades and work off their debts. Wow.
Dude, isn't that crazy?
So you had people over there that were just doing a trade to work off a debt that was in England. That's crazy.
Yeah, isn't that wild?
But then the craziest part had to be after the American Revolution, or after we beat England in the, in the war, that those people were just like, oh, I don't owe anybody anything.
Yeah. So then they were just free.
That's crazy.
They were just there. Huh.
That seems like Georgia a little.
Yeah.
I think that's a little bit of that vibe, dude. What is something, I was thinking about this. What is something that, had you met Lainey before you guys got together to make that song?
Oh yeah. So that tour I was talking about, that Morgan brought me on that tour, I said 800 to 2,000 people. Lainey was first of three, just acoustic. So she was the acoustic opener, and then I was second, and then Morgan was third. And so I met her then, and we did, that was like 39 shows or something. So I really got to know her then. She was on the first half of that tour and got to really know her then. Dude, I love it. She's like a sister to me, dude. She is salt of the earth.
Yeah. Oh, she seems really, really, she's interesting, beautiful, exciting.
Just authentic, man. She's a real deal.
Yeah, she sounds like, I mean, you just want to climb down her throat and just be in, just
live in it, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just get a damn, get your little oven or something in there and just stay in there.
Yeah.
Make treats.
Couple chairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it's like she sounds like a home.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it. Wow. She writes songs.
And she just sounds really, this is just so powerful. I really enjoy getting to spend time with her. I was thinking, what is something that people wait in the truck for?
Their sonic order.
Okay. Definitely Sonic.
Their drug dealer to show up, maybe.
Okay, drugs and Sonic.
Yeah.
Their wife. Anywhere their wife is.
Oh yeah. Especially if you're like the kind that's like, I'm gonna go wait in the truck. So hurry up, and they're honking kind of deal.
Which was every dad, I feel like.
Oh yeah.
When we were growing up, you're younger than me, but when we were growing up, it was like every dad was like, I'm gonna wait.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be out here.
I heard a story about George Jones that he got tired of waiting on the wife that he died with. I can't remember her name. I should know that. But that one time he wouldn't wait on her, so he went and sat in the car and laid on the horn, and she came out in her underwear and got in the car, and he was so fixated on going wherever they were going that he drove all the way down the road and didn't realize she was pulling one on him because she was like, well, fuck you, then I'll go wherever we're going. I'm going in my underwear if you can't wait.
And he
went like 5 miles down the road until he realized that she was in her underwear and turned around and came back.
Yeah, that was always a thing. I'm going to wait in the truck. And you would just see dads out there just shaking their head.
What about like a little brother when your big brother's like at baseball practice, like that type of deal?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna sit. You would see the brothers always just leaning on the open window.
Yep, and then somebody would come up and just like bang on the window and scare the shit out of them.
Yeah,
yeah.
What else did people wait for? Yeah, drugs for sure.
Dude, I
waiting for drugs was always scary. It was always like,
dude, always. I
always had to wait. What was the fucking deal? Why don't drug dealers are not punctual.
No, they're not, dude. Even like weed, before weed was legal, like I would have panic attacks, dude. Like he'd be like, show up here at 3, and I'd be like, all right, cool. And then like, dude, it would be like 3:05, and I'm like, but you're like, I don't want to piss my drug dealer. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to piss my guy off. But you're like, where the fuck are you at? Did you get arrested? Like, are like in my mind, it was like, okay, the cops got him, and they're like, all right, go do the drug deal so we can bust the guy. Like that's where my brain went,
Dude, I remember this guy told us one time, he's like, yeah, meet me at this time. So we get there, it's like a huge, in the middle of this Kmart parking lot, right? So we're like, well, fucking pick a corner or something.
Yeah,
Why
dude. Go behind it.
It was just the worst idea, right? So we're like, I remember we drove around, like, just around the middle for a while. Like, I guess we didn't want to go in. It was almost like if we went into the middle, we were in trouble. But it was like we were just scoping.
You thought it'd be less suspicious to just make like a bunch of laps around the parking lot?
Oh, dude, the worst. Dude, I remember one time we got some weed to sell it, right? And it was like, we were so excited, right? We get this weed, and the second we got it, we're like, oh, we're going to fucking jail, dude, right? So we're so scared. We're in the driveway. We finally ended up just giving the shit away to a guy down the street, dude, and just ended up working the payment off to the guy.
No,
we were just
seriously?
too freaked out. Yeah.
Damn, dude.
Too noited out.
I would have done some shit like that too, though.
Too fucking noited out, dude.
How much was it? Was it like a quap, or was it like teenager a lot of like an ounce or something?
No. I would say it was probably maybe a QP. I think.
Yeah.
It
Damn.
was good.
Damn, dude, gave it away. That was a good day for the guy you gave it to, though.
Yep. And maybe he saw that in us. Maybe he said, oh, these fear babies over here, I'm going to fucking get that.
Yeah, he might have. Was it a stranger or somebody you knew?
Somebody we knew.
Okay.
That was fun, though. All right, so you get into tunes, you get out here.
Yeah.
How do you get that first hit, you think?
Dude, it's a crazy story. I got my first publishing deal.
And what is a publishing deal for people that don't know?
So if you're just a songwriter in Nashville, you sign, if you drive up and down Music Road, there's like 50 or probably more publishing companies, and they sign songwriters. And the point is they pay songwriters a salary to write for that company. And they have people that work for the company that schedule the rights for the songwriter. They pitch the songs to artists that the songwriters turn in, that type of thing.
Oh, so you get a deal with a publishing house or a publishing
company. Yeah.
And then you're kind of like one of their batters in their box.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah. And like, you know, a lot of times I've seen like, you know, fucking Joe Blow Nobody signs with a pub deal and then he blows up, or signs with a publishing company and then he blows up and has a bunch of hits as a writer. Well, then suddenly that publishing company is on the map because people are going to want to sign there so they can write with this dude. You know what I mean? And that's how Big Loud, you know, Big Loud started as a publishing company. Craig Wiseman signed like 4 writers, and it was like Rodney Clawson, Sarah Buxton, Chris Tompkins, and a few others, and they all blew the fuck up. And so that just boomed Big Loud, and then along with Craig, who also was a big hit writer. And so then they were able to really have a legit publishing company and sign a bunch of writers because people wanted to be in that camp because they were the guys writing all the hits.
Okay, so then how does a Big Loud get guys like Morgan and you and Ernest?
So once they, you know,
so they're doing well. People know their name,
right? As a publishing company, and so then Craig Wiseman and I think at that point Seth England and them decided to start a record label, and so that's, you know, when they started Big Loud Records, and then they said, well, let's go find an artist to try to develop. And then they went and found Chris Lane, and they had a hit on Chris Lane. And FGL was in that because they signed FGL to a publishing company, but they also managed them. But their record label was a big machine. But they had Chris Lane, and then, you know, they broke Chris Lane, and then they went and they got I don't even know who like the next would have been, but anyway, then they found Morgan, and they just like catch word, like Morgan was on The Voice, and then he had, you know, word had gotten out that he had been coming into town and doing stuff, and so they were like, let's have a meeting with this Morgan Wallen kid, and they reach out to Morgan, and Morgan plays them a couple songs. They're like, we like your voice, seem like, you know, we could work well with you. They signed into a record deal. And then, you know, it's constantly growing and that whole deal.
And then guys like you at that point are friends already with Morgan. You see that he's there, and that excites you guys too?
Yeah. I mean, like I met Morgan.
That's part of it.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. And like, and especially like Florida Georgia Line and those guys, like they were all in that Big Loud camp. And so that draws people into that. But I met Morgan when the way I talk was like I think it died at like number 30, which is crazy to think about because it's still like a big hit for him. But it died at like number 30 at radio, and I wrote with him around that time and for the first time. And I was just a big fan of that song and his voice, and I was just like, this kid's really good. And so he came over to the house. I lived in an apartment over here, and we wrote and instantly hit it off, and the rest is history.
Damn.
But with my publisher to this day, his name is Dennis McCoskey, and he grew up in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, but his mom is from Philadelphia, Mississippi, and his mom is my grandfather's aunt. So Dennis in the 80s lived in LA.
He's my grandfather's aunt.
So Dennis and my grandfather are first cousins. They shared moms, sisters, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And when Dennis in the 80s was a big hit songwriter in LA, and his claim to fame, he's done a bunch of other amazing things, but his biggest claim to fame is he wrote Maniac in the 80s. Exactly.
Yeah.
And so growing up, I knew I had this cool cousin that was like a songwriter, but I didn't know, like, I knew he lived in Nashville at this point, but I didn't know. And he's an older guy. He's like late 60s, maybe early 70s. And so I was in college, and I was writing songs, videoing them on my webcam, dude, and putting them on like YouTube and shit, and then sharing them on my face. Dude, yeah, right? I know, right? And he wrote on my Facebook wall, dude, and was like, you seem like you're doing good. Like, come by the house sometime.
A bigger pervert. Yeah, dude.
Dude, that's like, back then, though, this was like.
But if 13. A man writes that on your Facebook wall, you seem like you're doing good, come by the house sometime.
To anybody that didn't know the situation, I could see how that would be.
Yeah, strange. Dude, that's like.
Yeah. But I went by his house, and then he signed me. And then, I mean, well, it took like years, but it was a cool thing because like it was a family thing, but I didn't really know him. And then he reached out, and so now he and I are very close. So,
but it felt like it was supposed to happen when some of those other pieces are kind of built into the background.
It was written in the stars,
especially when it's family stuff. You know, you kind of put those pieces together.
Yeah.
What about? So tell me a little bit more about that publishing house. So how does that work? So people writers get signed to a publishing house.
Right.
They start writing.
Yeah.
And then they're on salary.
Yeah.
But if one of them does well and creates a song, then they start to make money from the song.
Yeah, but only these days, only if the song gets played on the radio. So you have what's called mechanical royalties, and that is royalties that are paid to the song if it sells copies. So like, for instance, like on Morgan's last record, the big record, that created a lot of mechanical royalties because it sold really well, right? So, but when you sign your first publishing deal, most first publishing deals, called a baby deal, you as a writer, you don't get control of your mechanical royalties. That goes to the publisher and the publishing company.
Oh, wow.
And it's just something that's been around for a long time.
Nice.
So even if you had a song that blew up on TikTok or that sold or streamed like crazy on Apple Music or Spotify or whatever, you wouldn't see any of that money. The only way that young songwriters really make money, because most of their salaries are like, if you sign a first publishing deal, it's like 40 grand. That's really good. Like,
wow.
You're doing really good. So it really
for a
only,
year?
For usually they're like 4
years?
3 or 4. Yeah.
So 40 grand over 3 or 4 years?
No, sorry. Yes. It's 40 grand a year.
Okay.
The term is like 3 or 4 years.
Got it.
But you only make money if you have a hit on the radio. So like anything, especially for a young writer, top 20 and better, is you'll make a life-changing amount of money.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like, is that the one you were talking about earlier? Like you can make a couple $100,000?
A number one, you will.
Wow.
Depending on how many writers, because if it's split, if it's a 6-way, you're going to make less, or you're going to make half of what you'd make if it was a 3-way and that kind of thing. But yeah, so the radio pays out a lot of money, and that's where songwriters get paid, and that's through PROs, which is paid. Wait, what does it stand for? Paid Royalty Organization? Is that right? Yeah, I think so. And they collect money from the radio stations, and then they in return pay the writers for having hits on the radio. But it's tricky, man. It's hard to get a song on the radio. Like it's so hard.
I worked, one of my jobs that I had, I was a tour manager for Josh Kelly. I don't know if I ever told you that or not.
Really?
Yeah.
Georgia
Charles
Clay?
Kelly.
Just like that Georgia Clay.
Yeah.
Was it that time?
Baby,
dude,
you're amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Josh's, man.
I didn't know that you TM'd him.
Yeah, dude.
When was that?
We went around the whole country, dude. We would go to all the radio stations, and I would go in the morning and be like, da-da-da-da, Josh Kelly,
Yeah.
and get the coffee and the donuts and, get people fired up and stuff. And Josh would come in with his guitar. You paint a picture on the wall. Yeah, man, it was awesome.
Whoa.
This was, I don't know, this was probably 17 years ago maybe or something like that.
Oh, wow.
But we went around, we went to, I think, every radio station. I mean, we went to a lot of the bigger radio stations. We went to
so you
probably
totally
30
know
states.
the radio tour game, man.
So I didn't realize until you were saying that. I kind of forgot about it, but
yeah,
we would go in and you trying to not grease these people up, but you wanted to get them excited about an artist.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And they see so many of them that like, what can you do? Like, those,
tomorrow,
they're like,
tomorrow, Jason Mraz is bringing crab legs. You're like, well, we're fucked.
Exactly, dude.
We're damn.
Yeah,
we are
dude.
Fucked, man.
Dude, it's hard, man. You sit in a room and they're looking at you like,
yeah,
what are you doing here? I did not know that though. That's crazy.
Yeah, Josh Kelly's one of the most talented guys out there, and yeah, I feel grateful I got to be just even a little bitty part of his career. That was fun, man. It was interesting. But that's where I learned about and that's when radio was still even more, it was a bigger deal.
Yeah, 15 years ago.
Yeah, now a lot of them have been kind of consolidated now.
Yeah, I mean, streaming is like, it's taking over a lot of that market for sure.
Yeah. What was I thinking about? Do you see that thing with the governor?
Tennessee?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
It was like the governor of Tennessee
brought crab legs to a radio visit.
Sorry, no. This Tennessee governor appears to have dressed in. Oh, did you see this thing? They're trying to make it so in Tennessee you couldn't. They don't want people performing. Get into the article, man, if you don't mind.
Criminalizing drag performances in public?
Yeah, Monday. He recently passed bill criminalizing drag performances in public and in front of children. So they want to stop, I guess, like drag perform. They don't want performances that could influence, I guess, a child's sexuality, maybe, or. But then this is the governor, right? And they found a picture of him in a powder puff game.
Oh, no way.
And so that's what they're saying. Well, they say, look, here you are, you dragging out.
Oh, boy.
You know, so they found this a picture of him in high school.
Man.
But it looks like they're going to try to pass this law, which is kind of wild, you know?
Yeah, I mean, let people do what they want. Man.
Well, I think it's like, it almost seems like it's more of a parent's thing. Like if you're taking your child to something.
Yeah, where are you going to be that your child's going to see a drag show?
Right, without the parent going, like a child.
Yeah.
You know, without the parent going. Yeah. Dude, I remember we went to like a prom or something, dance, and they had this restaurant in the French Quarter, New Orleans, and it was all drag queens in there.
Yeah.
And dude, they kept getting I mean, all of us, I think, were underage probably, but we're in there with fake IDs, you know, and it's like a
teenager.
Yeah, like probably, yeah, we were under 21 anyway, so it could have been, I think it was high school. And all the it was like the male waiters or whatever, they kept getting people liquored up. And then they would take this one dude, Ryan, I remember they kept taking him back into the kitchen. And I'm like, damn, I don't know what's happening with Ryan, bro. How long was he back? Would they do it more than once? Oh yeah. And at first he was like, I don't want to go. By the third time, he's like, I'll be right back, guys. Like you could tell they were kind of picking off young birds who were kind of milling around.
Damn,
you know?
Really? You think they had any cocaine back there or something?
Oh God, I hope they did. I wouldn't want to get molested if I didn't have something in me.
Yeah, no kidding.
I don't feel like anyway.
Holy shit.
I mean, I hope not anyway.
Dude,
God.
I fucking love New Orleans, man.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's like Key West is my number one favorite place to go, visit, but New Orleans is number 2. I fucking love it so much, man.
Dude, Nick Swartzen, do you know who that is?
Yep.
He spent almost $1 million during COVID. He stayed at a hotel in Key West. He went there.
Oh, really?
And was like, I'm just going to stay.
I wonder which one it was. Have you ever been down there?
I have been one time, but I don't remember it real well.
Man.
What's it like?
It's like a beachier, safer New Orleans. It's very, very similar. Man, I went for my bachelor party. It was so fun, dude.
Dang.
Oh my God, it was so fun. It's just, man, I don't even know, dude. And the island time thing is such a thing down there. Nobody is worried about shit. And it depends on what you're into, but there's the food. It's just like New Orleans, man. The food, there's these little hole in the walls that are super authentic and
I could see that because you're in kind of that. It's kind of got that Caribbean vibe, huh?
Yeah, I mean, shit. You are 90 miles from Cuba.
Oh wow!
If they built a bridge, you could get there in less than an hour and a half.
Dang,
I love it. But New Orleans, man, the food and there's no other city to me with the culture that New Orleans has. It's such a fine-tuned, distinct culture, and every city has its thing, and the Northeast and Boston and seafood and all that, but there's just something so fucking dope about New Orleans.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess, I always noticed that growing up. I went to San Francisco. I thought that was a really exceptional city. It's very unique, right?
Yeah.
And I remember thinking Charleston was kind of cool. Charleston had a vibe of its own.
Definitely.
It was kind of an old South, but still pretty neat. Chicago, New York City. And then I was like New Orleans, because for a while I was like, New Orleans, man. But then I went around a lot of America and I'm like, oh, wow, it's really unique.
Because you were you took it for granted in a certain way.
Yeah, you're used to it.
Yeah.
But then you go around and you're like, dang, bro, New Orleans is something else. Dude.
Do you like New York?
I do. I think there's some energy about it. I don't think I like I don't like the overtly liberal shit, a lot of it.
Yeah.
If I'm real, where it's ridiculous, where it's they're wearing masks to the end of time, the same kind of stuff that happens in LA.
Yeah. No, I'm not for that either. There's something about it that's cool though, right?
Oh yeah, there's something about it that
there's an energy that's
right,
no other city has.
That they could build this. That I remember the first time I got out of New York in a taxi, and I was like, "What?"
Yeah, it looks like it's. I love every time. I think I can't remember if it's JFK or LaGuardia, but there's one where you can see a really stretched out view of Manhattan, and it's just so it's breathtaking in this weird way. Like there's so many fucking buildings and shit.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I love it.
Yeah, it blew my mind, man. Did you guys tour internationally yet?
No, we're flying to Australia on like March 16th.
Wow.
First time. I'm so excited, man. We're flying from San Francisco too, which is or San Francisco. I can't remember, but so it's that shorter flight. It's not like I've heard there's like a Dallas one and like a New York one, and that's like 20 hours. But,
Yeah,
dude, I'm so stoked.
it's nice though, dude. I like being up in the air. I like if you get
the good seat, if you get the bougie like the pod or whatever.
oh
too.
sometimes yeah. I think I got that one time. I don't know where I was going. Oh, you getting that bitch? You're like, let's stay up here.
Oh yeah,
You're like, why does everybody want to land? You start getting angry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because the second you get off, people aren't serving you and shit anymore. Dude, what's Australia like though? If you had to compare it to anything or describe
It's
it,
a lot of. Well, they don't have a lot of religion over there.
really?
Yeah, and it's a lot of dangerous animals, dude. If somebody's
Oh,
like, hey,
dude.
look at this animal,
Yeah,
you know, where I'm from, if somebody's like, look at this animal, it's usually some type of somebody trying to flash that wiener on you,
Yeah.
you know?
like a sling blade situation.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you want to come see this animal? And it's just a wiener, you
Yeah.
know, with like little cat ears on or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Some guys like got little
In a parking lot.
little mouse ears on his penis. You know,
Yeah.
you're like, that has a, you know,
Yeah.
I'll pet it, but I ain't feeding it cheese. You know what I'm saying, bro?
Yeah,
But it's like over there, it's like, you know, God put 9 of the most dangerous animals ever in New York. Can you look it up? No, in Australia.
I know the box jellyfish, right? That's one.
Oh, they're all bad. I mean, I hate to say it, but it's crazy because they put all the prisoners in Australia, and then God put all the pretty much the most criminal animals in Australia.
Yeah. It's kind of wild, right?
Very wild, dude. Yep, you got box jellyfish called the sea wasp. Also, oh God, look at that thing.
So I've heard the taipan snake is like you live like 15 minutes or some crazy shit.
Yeah.
Saltwater crocodile. Salties.
Ooh. That blue-ringed octopus.
I saw a
Damn.
TikTok of this kid that picked one up and didn't know it was an octopus, and then he just like casually let it back in the water, and they were like, damn, if that thing would have. What does an octopus do? Bite? What?
I don't know. Probably just, I feel like just.
How does it? Don't octopus have a beak or something? Don't they have a little like?
That's a good question. Can you look at it? Yeah, go to that blue octopus and let's see what it says. And can you zoom
There it
in? Do
is.
you mind? Just overall note. Dear God.
They look absolutely.
Okay. They look absolutely amazing in a fish tank, but don't touch. These ball-sized creatures bite and are highly venomous. The sting is often fatal. The body shuts down, becomes increasingly paralyzed, and breathing is no longer possible. Oh.
Damn, dude. There's no known. That's the scariest part.
No known anti-venom. So if you're asking people for help, they can be like, oh, I can't help you, and they mean it.
So does that mean that you die if you get bit by one?
Oh, there it is. Look at that. Oh,
Composed
damn.
of chitin? Oh yeah, okay, there you go. Man, it kind of looks like the mouth of it looks like a vag a little bit.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And that's probably what gets you into it. Some perv over there by the beach being like, hold on, son, I'm going to go meet up with this little thing.
Do you think that people in Australia, you think somebody like if they wanted to like end it all would just go find something like that? Like
Use it
it'd
as
be
like a
pretty
sex
easy,
toy or
right?
something? Or just spend time with it? Oh, yeah. Oh, I
like
see what you're
if they
saying.
wanted to die,
Right,
know?
if you wanted to die. So you don't. Now, that is kind of nice. It's almost like God saying, hey, you don't need to hang yourself or, you know, you don't have to get all Brooks was
Yeah, like-
heresy, you know?
You can go the way, the
Right.
natural way.
You can
I've
go
always
out-
said I wanted to. If I was gonna die, I like an animal killing me would be kind of honorable. I think.
Well,
better-
especially since you
Better than
hunt,
cancer or
too.
something, Yeah.
You feel like it's almost like turnabout is, you know, it's like it's their turn to get one.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I've always thought that they were here first, kind of thing, and I don't know. I just think it'd be terrifying, but like bit by a rattlesnake or like even a mountain lion or something, it would be terrifying. But
Yeah, or just nature, dude. Like letting nature get you.
yeah, like some naked and afraid shit, dude.
Because
Man.
yeah.
Back in the day, like you know how Jack Daniel died, the whiskey guy?
Mm-mm.
He fucking got mad because he couldn't open a safe or something, and he kicked it. And his toe got infected, and it went up through his body, and they chopped his leg off, and it kept going, and he died because he kicked a safe or a heater or something. But like back in the day, man, like if you fell and like cut yourself, Like
It
you
was a
could,
wrap.
you could die.
Yeah.
Like instantly.
Oh, dude, imagine and how like that's what kind of, it's like we're just living these long, like crazy. We don't need,
Yeah.
That's why I think it's one of the reasons why we have so much mental health, because we don't have any, at a certain point, you don't have anything else to do but have problems, you know? It's like we've just, because nature is, the same things aren't happening. People, now they even have like, it used to be you got stung by a bee. Yeah, you were dying, you know? You fell off like a step 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Died.
Yeah.
You know?
You couldn't. And also, like tuberculosis. What happened to that?
What is it? Look it up.
Everybody died from tuberculosis back in the day.
Oh my God, it's heartbreaking.
Do you think that like, I wonder if like tuberculosis was just like cancer before they knew it was cancer?
Oh, there you go. Probably.
Or do people like, is there a vaccine for it?
Tuberculosis is a disease caused by germs, that are spread from person to person through the air. Oh, dude, this was,
Can people still get it though? Or is
affects the lungs. It can also affect other parts of the body, such as the brain. Oh, God. Kidneys or the spine. Imagine that.
It literally sounds like COVID, dude.
Yeah, it definitely has very early COVID vibes. But do you think over 10 million people get infected with tuberculosis every year? Was there a
That's
cure for it?
That's got to be in India or something, dude.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I never met anybody with it. Have you?
No. No, absolutely
But
not.
dude, when I was growing up, people would have like, you'd have a dude who like, if he got hit by something, that's just how he was. You know?
Like polio or something.
Oh yeah, you had a dude who got hit like with a baseball bat in the side real hard, and he was just like that from now on, dude. You had a dude, if somebody broke their collarbone, their shirt never fit right. You know, just that's who they were. Like everybody had spaced out teeth, had a bad eye.
You'd always see him at church, and you'd finally ask like your parents, and they'd be like, "Well, when he was a kid," and then like,
and the truth would come out.
Yeah,
but now everybody's all patched up.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's different, man.
Like scoliosis, like people. That's such a common thing back in the day. People were just.
They checked at school.
Yeah, yeah.
Did they do checks at your school? They would come, and you'd have to bend over, and that lady would do both of them.
Yeah, I do remember
that. Down your back.
That's right. Damn, dude. I forgot all about that.
They would check that damn spine, boy. Check that railroad on you.
Mm-hmm. School nurse, dude.
God, dude. Oh, we had, for a while, we had a hot one, and then we had a man, dude.
Man nurse? I used to not even think men could be nurses.
God.
That was
nobody
tough.
got sick for like 2 years, dude. All the guys like
just scared to death.
Oh, dudes were like, dude, I don't want to get sick. I think they were just scared of, it just wasn't. They didn't know what. A lot of people had never seen a man nurse.
Yeah, I didn't think it was allowed.
Oh.
I thought it was like illegal, or I thought it was like you were gay.
Yeah,
like actually
definitely.
gay if you were a man.
Right,
nurse.
it was just part of the practice, and I think early on it probably was. I think now it's a little bit more universal.
Yeah,
because you see a lot of Latino male nurses that have like families and stuff. But I think in the beginning, it was like, I think a lot of men used to want to have kind of women jobs, kind of, I think I think a lot of gay men, because I think here's probably why, because they probably weren't accepted in a lot of male jobs.
Yeah, I'm sure.
People
made them feel like they weren't capable, like a maid, like a man-maid.
Oh,
man-made,
wow.
damn.
Or a train conductor. Dude, there's no way if some guy was like, they're going to let him run the train, even though he would have loved it, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, bro.
All aboard, bro.
Bro, I think they should only have gay male train conductors, I feel like.
Could you imagine, dude?
Why would they have anybody who wants some straight dude being like, "Brr, you want that fucking party boy up 100%.
there." You know how it's got like the little rail that, and they just do a little grind on it and they pop up in there and fucking go to town?
Dude, that's what I want, man. Damn. Yeah.
School nurse.
Does it feel weird to consider that you've made, this term that you've made it? It's a weird feeling, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Man, I don't know. I don't see, maybe there will come a time, but like I always feel like there's a next step, a next level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing. Yeah.
Right.
Like something is next always.
Like I'm still doing it.
Yeah.
Maybe I haven't written my best song yet. Or,
yeah, no, I 100% believe that.
Wow,
I
that's
hope
a
I
nice
always
feeling.
feel like that for sure. Yeah. Because I don't know. I think content can kill somebody's career. I've seen it happen to friends and stuff,
Yeah.
and like that's definitely a thing. But I also, want to learn how to slow down or like, I don't know, feel like that, I appreciate moments, but like really try to take time to be like, man, I have done really well and like technically have made it, to a lot of people. And because there are times where I'm constantly worried about the next year and man, we're going to be in arenas next year. And the year after that, we're going to do this and that. And, and kind of constantly worried about that. But it's good to check yourself for sure.
What, you started a family. I mean, that's one thing I think that kind of starts to put down something that's real to you.
Yep.
And you seem to really love your wife, I
do, man.
You seem to really love being around her. I notice that when I'm around you. You guys have such a nice connection. It's admirable.
Thank you, man.
How did that kind of come to play, man? Did you know there was no doubt when you met her? How did it go down?
First night I met her, man.
Dang.
It was awesome,
boy.
Bro. Dude, I again, my buddy Hunter Phelps. This is so cheesy, but we hung out. I met her at I was playing drums for Hunter, opening for a guy named Jamison Rogers at Ole Miss, and I met her there.
She went to Ole Miss.
She did.
Oh, dang.
She's an Ole Miss girl. She's from San Diego, but went to Ole Miss.
Ooh, okay, okay.
Yeah, best of both worlds.
Yeah, it's interesting.
And we met, and then like she took us. Well, I went to her apartment, hung out with her friends, and then she took us. I always remember she drove us barefoot to Huddle House.
Oh God!
We ate Huddle House. She went to Huddle House barefoot, bro, which is a thing on its own.
Oh, that's tuberculosis. Dude.
Yeah,
that's
exactly,
it,
bro. That's ringworm fucking shit. And then like,
yeah, if you like it, put a ringworm on it.
Dude, exactly. I'm gonna put that in a country song. I'll give you a credit, dude.
It won't be a good song. I already tell you that, bro.
But anyway, and I knew that after that night, man, I was like, I got to keep in touch with this girl because.
So that was after keep in touch with her. There's something about her.
Yep. And I'd never had that with anybody. And then we went. She and I, we dated. We'd been dating for like 3 or 4 months, not long, and then. When she got out of college, she and I took a road trip from here to San Diego to meet her parents already. I mean, we just knew. And so we drove all the way across the country. It's my favorite memory I've ever had. And so it's hers too. It was just everything. It was like, we were like newly like in love and shit. but also seeing the driving across the whole country together. And like just that whole experience, but we would hit like a middle of nowhere spot, but then go to Vegas the next night. It was unbelievable. And but anyway, there was never a doubt, dude. It was awesome.
Damn.
Yeah.
And where'd you propose at? Did you do something?
I did at the venue. I met her at a specific spot in this venue called The Lyric in Oxford. Okay. And I proposed. I faked a. She knew. She tells me she don't. She fucking knew. But I faked that I had a private show at this venue on a Sunday after our Atlanta show on Saturday. And so she rode with me to the private show and we go in the venue and then like it had been like laid out with flowers. And I did it like at the exact spot that we met. It's pretty cool.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, man.
That's romantic.
Yeah, dude.
Does it feel hard to keep up with that amount of romance? Because some dudes are like, oh, dude, I'm starting with low-level romance, dude.
So you always have something to work up to?
Yeah, dude. So we're moving up,
Man, I try, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would consider myself romantic, but I try. And it's tough, man. I think in any relationship, but it's just always so much shit going on and like just try to take a second every couple of weeks and like think of something, to do like out of the ordinary. It could be anything. It could be like a fucking Chick-fil-A gift card to leave, and be like, go get some lunch. It could be anything, but I just try to do something just to keep it, keep it interesting or whatever.
Yeah, to be thinking of somebody else,
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. I think in the end, we want to be thought of. People want to be damn thought of,
Yeah. And that's, like the love languages thing. You ever heard of that?
Oh, yeah.
Hers is like definitely acts of service and like quality time and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And I've learned that, throughout us dating and being married, but I always just try to think of that. Like, even if it's just like one little thing or whatever,
Yeah.
It's hard though, man. Like this life, it's just busy. And I come home and I'm tired and stuff, but she deserves it. So like, I really try to do as much as I can to, out of the ordinary for her.
Yeah. I just noticed that when I'm around, it's like you really put her on there's no doubt that I feel like when I'm around you and she's around that you present her proudly.
Yes, I do.
And there's
thank
something
you.
about that is, it's like, oh, I would like to be like that.
Yeah, sure, man.
When I'm, in love with a lady. So
It's easy to do when you find the one that you want to do it with, though. Like I'd never be ashamed to.
Was there a close
show
call
her off.
before that? Was there any?
We went through a little.
Where you got married though? Where you almost got married before?
with me and another.
Yeah.
No,
That was it.
nah. I had like one other, maybe two in the past, like serious girlfriends. Like I would say, like I wouldn't count a serious girlfriend until after you're like 18. You know what I mean? So I had like maybe two over the course of 8 years before I met her. But nah, not like never really considered like going and buying a ring or anything like that.
Yeah.
It was just like a year relationship or something like that. She was the only one for sure.
That's cool, man.
Yep.
Damn, she went to Ole Miss too.
She did. She's from San Diego. Her dad was
You
in
don't
the
see
military.
a lot of that California to Ole Miss.
No. She only knew, she knew like one other girl, I think from San Diego, but she wanted, she wanted an experience outside of what she was raised in. And so she went and toured. She said she went and saw like Texas, LSU, maybe Alabama, and then she went to Ole Miss, and she just was like, "This is where I want to go." She did say that when she went, she thought like, as a lot of people, I think she was like, "This is the South, so everybody's gonna have like cowboy hats and shit." And she shows up, and it's just a bunch of fucking fat frat dudes, like, you know what I mean, like completely different, than what she thought. But
Well, especially at Ole Miss, I don't think you get the cowboy hat at Ole Miss.
no, that's a Mississippi State thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Ole Miss is all the kids from Memphis and Jackson, dude.
Yeah, definitely.
City kids, city country kids, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think it does, man. That's interesting. Ben, was there anything else in the news that we wanted to look at? I'm trying to think of anything else that was cool.
Oh, dude, what?
Let me see. It says the average penis length is growing, according to a new study. The study was led by Michael Eisenberg, a urology professor at Stanford Medicine and sexual function specialist. The compiled data from over 75 studies done between 1942 and 2021. Damn, he's been just looking at a lot of ween, huh? Gathered measurements of the erect penises of over 55,000 men. God, this dude's probably in the damn closet. If he's got a wife, she needs to damn knock on the door sometimes and see what's going on in there.
55,000 men and erect, dude.
Yeah, there's no way you could look at this many. I don't want to bring up a picture of the guy, but damn, dude, are we sure he's not just...
The findings were astounding, is what he says, dude.
Let me see, zoom in on
Bro,
him.
there's no way that guy wasn't born in...
Oh, no, he just looks like a dude who would
It
look at
says
some
1942, though?
Oh, that's when he's been looking at him from then.
Oh, okay. So he's just been looking at pictures?
From then, yeah. Or drawings.
How do you even find a picture of an erect penis from 1942?
Oh, I think you can get that pretty easily. I think it's some of the rest of it's like just putting them all in a stack or whatever. How many is there? Go back to the information, please, brother. Let me see. The findings were sounding. Penis length also showed variation by geography. Go down. Let's get into some information. Oh, it locked up. Great. You know what's becoming interesting? You have to pay for news now. Do you notice that?
Yeah.
So then over time, whatever information is going to be only available to people with money.
Damn, that's wild.
It's going to get weird.
Yeah, you read. I've noticed that. Like I'll see a clickbait thing and you'll read like the just enough. And then it's like for the rest, like subscribe to Huffington Post or whatever it is. Oh, there you go.
Can we get any more? Eisenberg told Stanford.
Showed variation by, we all knew that already.
By geographic region?
Yeah, that's a given, right?
I think so. In the article, Eisenberg said, chemical exposure could be interacting with our hormone makeup, which could be one of the many reasons the biological change is occurring. Oh, maybe people are living in a place where there's more plastics in the water?
Or could it be like, I've heard like kids, like a 13-year-old boy or girl today looks like a grown up, like is built like a grown up compared to like in the 30s, 40s, 50s or whatever because of like hormones in the food or something like that.
That's crazy, dude. It's weird what we're going to end up as.
Wow.
We're going to end up like chickens in your dad's thing.
Yeah. We probably kind of already are,
It feels like it, doesn't it, sometimes?
Yeah.
You know, it feels like we all know the same information and are kind of like watching this. You know, it's like we all get the same 6 news stories every day.
Yeah.
We're all kind of like stuck in the same thing.
What about that train thing? Are you keeping up with that?
That Ohio derailment?
Yeah. It's supposed to make it here, but I don't.
Oh, that cloud is coming here?
Or something, yes,
Oh,
in the water.
damn. Well, I'm going to get a hot air balloon and go up and get a hit, cuz if that shit comes over here,
You might grow a fucking tail or something if you do that, dude. It's like a third arm or something.
Dude, I'll take it, bro. If I had 3 arms, dog, oh, what would I do?
What would you do with 3 arms? Would you fight people?
Oh, yeah. I would grapple.
You'd make a hell of a prostitute, I think, too.
Oh, yeah. Dude, you could juggle.
Oh, but you'd have to juggle like 5 things, right?
Yeah, that's true, huh? You have to really up the ante. What would you do if I had 3 arms?
Oh, you could be a really good like blackjack dealer,
Oh, yeah.
card dealer.
Dude, I remember
magician.
I got a hand job from this gal that dealt blackjack one time, and I remember at the end she went like this. It was like at the end, dude.
Just out
and
of
then
habit.
went like that. Yeah, it was awesome, dude. Pretty cool. And that was over by I think by the Wynn.
Is that in Louisiana? Y'all got casinos?
Oh no, it was in
down
Las
there.
Vegas.
Oh, Vegas.
No, we don't. We have 2. You guys have Tupelo, right?
Tunica.
Tunica.
But that's another thing about my hometown. We got 2 big Choctaw casinos.
Oh, really?
Out in the country. Like you top over this hill, dude, and it's these 2 like they're like what the size of like Tunica or somewhere like Vicksburg. Like but there's one that's crazy. It's called the Golden Moon, and it's this like stairway to heaven looking shit with a big old moon at the top corner of it. It's pretty wild. It's in Philadelphia.
Oh wow.
But I moved here when I was 20 and when I was 19, so I never
got to go and do it.
Yeah, and I was afraid of getting out there, like sneaking out there and trying to sneak on the floor and like getting arrested or going to like Choctaw jail or something, you know?
Oh yeah. What did we have?
Did you have one in Covington or close?
No, what did we have? We had like a daiquiri place people would go drink at. That was big in Louisiana. Get you a daiquiri.
Oh, I've heard all, and they put the little straw, the thing on the end.
Yeah, if they don't
drive-through.
take like the thing, if they don't take the paper off the straw,
It
then
counts
it's
as
not closed container.
Right.
So they'll give you that thing with that little hat on it.
Yeah.
You know?
Dude, it's crawfish season.
Oh yeah, it's good.
Man, I haven't had any yet this year.
Yeah, they're good, man. Did you guys ever have them up in Mississippi? Did they get up
Yeah,
there?
oh,
or no?
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we actually just recently in the past 10 years, there's a place in Philadelphia called Blake's Seafood, and they do it there. And you can go get like a big old, I'm actually going to Philadelphia tomorrow. I'm playing a little acoustic hometown show, and I might go get some crawfish. That sounds pretty good.
That does sound good. Dude, we used to go, because I used to work on a farm in Mississippi in the summers. So
Okay,
I would go
I've heard you say that before.
I go up to Natchez, right?
Yeah.
And the farms, I mean, the land was actually right over the levee in Louisiana.
Oh, really? Because
So-
Natchez is on the border, right?
Yeah. So we go by like Deer Park. We'd be like in Faraday and Vidalia, like right there.
Mm-hmm.
And we go across and we'd be in Mississippi. And yeah, it was nice, man.
What kind of farm was it?
It was soybean, corn,
Oh, okay.
cotton,
Did y'all ever find arrowheads out there?
Milo. No, but they had land around where we go look for them sometimes on the weekends.
I found them. I'd look for them out here.
Go look for Civil War shit. and
Yeah,
go look
yeah.
for-
Well, Natchez, that's right.
yeah.
Apparently, Natchez was like that. The Union came up the river and they fired a bunch of cannons off, and that the whole city came out and was just like surrendered or whatever.
Oh,
Did
they
you know
gave
that?
up.
Yeah, and it kind of opened up the gate.
Oh, they
Natchez gave up Natchez to the Union,
go look it up. Natchez surrender in a Civil War.
and they
Damn.
they I think they kind of opened up the gate to.
Because there's a lot
The
of
Battle
pills there
of
now. I don't
Vicksburg
know
and
what they
all
were
that.
doing then. But I could see everybody being on something and just
Dude, this is right here is big Civil War shit.
really.
Yeah, big time. There's a hill right over here called Shies Hill, and there's a memorial at the top. It was a giant battle. People find still to this day find relics and shit in the ground. Metal, you know what I mean? Like
Oh
all
yeah,
kinds of stuff.
I'd get out
My
there.
buddy says he saw a ghost. He lives over here. Says he saw a Union. I mean, dude, and this dude
Is he
does
from
not-
Mississippi?
No, he's from Minnesota.
Oh damn! I don't know if they usually like ghosts as much.
Dude, he was laying in his hammock, said he saw a dude walking like up the side of his hill in like Civil War outfit. I swear to God. And he was like, dude, I don't believe in nothing. And I saw this and I was like, I think I just saw a ghost walking up Shies Hill where there was like an actual battle. It's pretty crazy.
Wow. I could see that, man. I could see there being so much traffic, right? Where a lot of deaths happen at once.
Yeah.
That a couple spirits get kind of logged in the
something like that,
in
right?
the ether. Open that back up, Ben, please.
Surrender. There you go.
Surrender in Natchez, Mississippi. There we go. This shit looks damn.
Is this a play?
I know.
Pretty sure it was a thing that they fired a bunch of cannons and shit.
I got a damn AA meeting.
Do you?
Yeah.
What time?
In 1 minute.
Oh shit. All right.
Dude. It's at home.
Oh, word. All right, cool.
Yeah, will you be bummed if we and chat another time?
Dude, not at all.
Okay, cool.
Bro, I've been here for what, 2 hours? Dude.
Yeah, we've been sitting here for a while.
I appreciate the time, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you teaching me about the Neshoba County.
Yeah. Dude,
Yeah.
you got to go.
Dude, I can't even believe it. It looks amazing. I can't believe I've never heard of it.
I mean, you can just walk, and dude, like people are so inviting. Like you can walk into any cabin and say, "Hey, I'm not from here. Can you guys tell me something to do?" And any cabin will be like, "Come in here, feed you." Like, it's the coolest thing in the world.
God.
And it's hot as fuck, which I love, dude.
Yeah. Well, you know what's interesting, man, is I noticed, like, say if, like, there's been times where I go and stay in a hotel somewhere, and then I'll stay, like, in a off the beaten path place that doesn't have air conditioning. And there's something about when you're in that non-AC place, you, like, wake up in the middle of the night, you're sweating and shit's weird, and it's like, but it feels like more natural.
Yeah.
It's sticky
I
and
mean,
it's
it is.
nasty, but
Yeah.
it feels a lot more natural.
Yeah.
you
We
know?
did that in Thailand. Like we went to Thailand for our honeymoon, and like there was a couple places that were like that, and it was just like they just don't have air conditioning.
Yeah.
You feel like you're just out. Even though you're inside, you feel like you're outside or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I think there's just, you're more tied into nature when that kind of stuff's going on.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, I could imagine that there's a lot of places where people died at once and then there's just bumper to bumper traffic going to heaven or whatever.
I think so.
And people's like, I'm going to mill around.
Yeah. That's like why mental hospitals and like old prisons and shit, you know, where like a lot of people died in one place. They say that's like the most haunted places.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I could see it.
Yeah.
All right. The Mockingbird and the Crow.
Yeah.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you very much,
Yeah.
man.
Please keep writing and making cool music, man.
Thank you, brother.
I love you. You know, my sister and I one of my sisters and I have been real super close, and we listen to Give Heaven Some Hell, you know?
Yeah.
And dude, we just jam outside. We'd never done that before.
That's awesome, dude.
So it's cool, like, you know, we
Man,
never
that's-
had that kind of, even that little moment of fun, we never had that.
That's cool, dude. That makes my day. That's the power of music, man.
It really is.
It's the only language we all know how to speak, dude.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. Thanks for all your contributions to it. You guys can check out Hardy. We'll put all his links to everything, and you guys can catch him on tour, on his own tour, and with Morgan and Parker and Bailey.
And
Ern, yeah. Oh, dude. So funny. I can't wait to have Ern in here.
Yeah, he's a trip.
Yeah, he is, man. Thank you so much.
Dude, it's just, I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's awesome, man. I'm glad we got to spend some time.
Hell yeah.
Now I'm just floating on the breeze, and I feel I'm falling like these leaves. I must be cornerstone. Oh,